Hello, everybody. Thank you all for being here. My name is Shah Malloy, and I'm the Director of the Environment Centre. And I would like to begin by acknowledging the traditional owners of this land, the Larrakia people, and their elders past and present. I'd also like to acknowledge Nancy McKinney and Stuart Hewson, who are here from Borroloola, and they're traditional owners, and you'll hear a bit of their story before the main feature as well. So we're really excited to have brought Tim Flannery and his family here. This is co-sponsored by the Nightcliff Seabreeze Festival and the Environment Centre NT. And I want to acknowledge the Nightcliff Seabreeze Festivals for their wonderful environmental and sustainability initiatives. It was a fantastic festival with also the ripple effect, where we had some great scientists sharing there. And thank you again for the Nightcliff Seabreeze Festival. And we're excited that we were able to partner with Professor Tim Flannery being here. And I also want to thank you all for being here. So this is a fundraiser for the Environment Centre, and we need your support. So it's only from your memberships, from your monthly donations, from your raffle tickets, and from the support and also your participation that you give us throughout the year that we can actually be here and do the work that we do. So thank you, and make sure you grab some raffle tickets. We will draw that at the end of the night, so you've still got some time to purchase some. And if you actually purchase a membership tonight, then we'll throw in an extra raffle ticket for you. So please see the people at the end of the stall. I also want to thank our raffle sponsors. So it's C. Darwin and Redback Books and Art Gallery, and the NT General Store, and also Groove Cafe. So thank you very much to our sponsors, and also to Hanuman's. So the proceeds from the food that you've purchased from them tonight also go towards our fundraiser. So thank you to Hanuman's, and also the Deck Chair that really support so many organisations here with their fundraiser nights. So thank you again. And thank you. And so it now gives me great pleasure to introduce Professor Tim Flannery. So he is one of Australia's leading writers on climate change. He's an internationally acclaimed scientist, explorer, conservationist, and he was named Australian of the Year 2007. And he's a well-known presenter on ABC Radio, has written and presented series on the documentary channel, and we are so grateful to have had him come here and share the generosity of his heart and wisdom in being able to be here and, really talk about climate change and the impacts of potential gas and fracking here. So without further ado, we welcome Professor Tim Flannery.
Thank you so much, Shah, for that fantastic introduction. A lot of you might think that the really important business in the Northern Territory is being done over in the Parliament building up on the hill there, or maybe in some office building, some business in town. And sure, those things are important, but I am totally convinced that the really important business that's being done in Darwin here is the stuff that's being done tonight. Because the issues that we're dealing with here and the film that you're going to be seeing are just critically important for all of our futures. And I'd like to, before I elaborate on that, really just thank you, Shah, and the Environment Centre NT for the work you do. I know you're not in it to get rich or for any other reason. You're in it because you care for everyone in our society and the children who are as yet either too young or maybe unborn, who are going to inherit a mess unless we act. And that is an incredibly noble and wonderful thing to be doing. So I'm just so grateful to you all for the support you're giving the NT Environment Centre this evening. It is the most important business in town, there's no doubt about it. Why is fracking such a big issue? Why do we need to oppose it to our last breath? The reason is that we are in the middle of a very big transition, a shift away from fossil fuels to a cleaner, more sustainable, fairer and better future in every way. And that transition is happening quite rapidly. Just over the last decade or so, the coal industry that used to be such a powerful entity in Australia and with such unquestioned authority is starting to feel the pressure of the pollution it creates. And we're starting to see a wind back in coal use. 20 years ago, 90% of Australia's electricity was generated through burning coal. Today it's at 70%. Still far too high a figure, but it's reducing. And we just had the oldest and filthiest coal-fired power plant pretty much in any developed country closed last month, which was fantastic at Hazelwood. Big, big victory. And you see the pressure that's building up against the Adani mine, people speaking out, not wanting that sort of future, and that will weigh in the balance in the end. It really will. I work in India quite a bit and I see it at the other end. People don't want filthy coal-fired power in India. They don't want it to be their future. They want a clean, fair solar future where everyone gets a better share of the action economically and where the outcome is clean. The one industry that's still really growing, that still thinks it's got a great future among all the fossil fuel industries is the gas industry. There's been a big expansion of what you might call conventional natural gas. So the big offshore rigs that you see off the Western Australian coast and so forth, and off the coast here, and between here and Timor. That's bad enough, but even the vast volumes of gas that are being produced there isn't enough for this insatiable industry. They now want to start fracking throughout Australia using coal seam gas and gas from shale deposits, and we see the dangers of that. Not only is it producing a big pollution stream, it is really threatening livelihoods across the country. You'll see on the Bentley Effect tonight, I'm sure, 95-year-olds being arrested. Even the police are ashamed of doing things like that, and every politician that condones it and every company that forces it should be ashamed of it as well. We should allow people on their own land to pursue their livelihoods without what is often, as you'll see, catastrophic consequences of having these drill holes put down right across their country, disrupting the way people farm, potentially polluting water and causing all sorts of devastation. So my hope is that we can successfully oppose fracking. If we can do that, we will have turned the tide on the fossil fuel industry. If we can curb that requirement, we will see a hastening of the end of fossil fuels. Now, many people think, wow, but we need gas, we need fossil fuels for our future. It's just not true. The Climate Council, the group that I set up 3 years ago when we were sacked by Tony Abbott, and which is now, by the way, prospering far beyond what we were in government, we've just produced a report which was written by the engineer that put most of the gas-fired power plants into Australia. He has totally turned around. He now argues that renewables are actually at least cost-effective with gas, and that the future that we should be pursuing is one of clean solar and wind power rather than gas. So there you've got someone from the other side who's telling the truth. You can't get away from that. The industry can't just say this is some greenwash or some person who doesn't know. This is the guy who actually built the infrastructure. Second in charge in Origin Energy, who has now really changed his view of what's happening. So I just want to assure all of you great people who are on the front line of this fight, and there's many of you in the audience here this evening. In some ways, I've got the easy job. I come into town and talk to you and go, but you have to live with the consequences of it. I just want to assure you that you are in the right, absolutely without doubt in the right, that you have very serious supporters across society, from ex-fossil fuel people like Andrew Stock, who wrote our report, through to the ex-CEO of BP Australasia, who's the chairman of the Climate Council, through many, many people, conservative people. Alan Jones even opposes fracking. Whoopee. Great. But you do have that support, and you have the admiration of many, many Australians who see you and the work that you do and the sacrifices that you make as being integral to a better future for us all. So please keep going. There are really dark periods in any battle. I've been through them myself when, I've had to have federal police protection and been sacked by a new Prime Minister and so forth. And you think that you can't do much more, but you somehow find the resources to do it. So please don't give up. Please keep pushing. Don't let fracking happen in the Northern Territory. It's just not worth it. Financially, environmentally, for the sake of our futures, it's not worth it. We need a cleaner, better future, and together we can deliver it. And with Shah's help, we can deliver it. That's all. I'm not going to say any more because you've got a great movie coming up. Enjoy it. Support Environment Centre NT as much as you can. And let's look forward to a brand new and much better day. Thank you.